this idea of direction and director is an old idea. It has roots, and I have an appreciation for those roots, for that deep, deep practice of spiritual direction that saints such as Saint Teresa of Avila and other really devout mystics participated in this practice of spiritual direction. So for me, the term and the roots really have meaning. And I appreciate as well how in this day and age that term of spiritual direction is being broadly applied. It's being taken out of the Christian traditions, or it's being expanded beyond the Christian traditions and being offered now to a much wider audience. So there are Buddhist spiritual directors, there are Taoist spiritual directors, so on and so on and so on. And spiritual directors often work with people of many different faiths or none at all. Atheism is also welcomed within the spiritual direction tradition. So I really appreciate that new movement that's happening within spiritual direction, and I embrace that, and I want to help raise awareness about that and join it and be a part of this wave that's going forward. Because really what I see is a breakdown in our society. I know a lot of people who are spiritual but not religious. A lot of people that have a deep, devout spiritual life, but they do not go to church. I do not care. For me, I have no preference, let me say. It matters to me what matters to you, but I don't have a preference for if somebody goes to church or not. I feel like it's a very personal choice, and it informs me about what kind of beliefs and what is important to someone. I'm just interested in it and solely in a way to get to know you, but I don't have a recommendation one way or the other. So with this wave of people who are practicing spirituality independently, there is a really critical piece that I see missing for most people. And this piece is being able to have at least one person in their life to talk to about their deep inner wanderings, their deep inner contemplation. And that is where the spiritual director comes in. And so where I really see this new wave of spiritual direction being offered more widely to people of all belief systems or all beliefs in general, that I feel it's so important to be able to provide that support for people who are, even if they are practicing and going to a church, they're still feeling like they have beliefs that are outside the church that they can't share at the church, or they can't find quite the person they feel comfortable sharing with at their church. There's something about the intimacy of a one-on-one meeting with the spiritual director that really allows a sense of safety in being able to open up and share about the mystical life. Now, spiritual direction can be a little tricky just because of that word. Spiritual, everybody's comfortable with that, no problem. But director or direction can be a pretty strong term for some people to stomach. They might bristle a little bit, especially if they have a little bit of a rebellious nature at least in them. And so that's why today I thought it would be good just to focus solely on this word, director, direction. Why that word, and how can we work with that word in a way that deepens our understanding of this practice? Direction, of course, can mean being the authority and giving someone direction, telling them what to do. Absolutely, that's kind of our most obvious understanding of that word. But in spiritual direction work, I'm not telling people what to do and giving specific instructions and being authoritarian about it at all. There is an element that can come in if someone is open to it and looking for help, where I'll offer recommendations or advice. I'll give suggestions for reading or certain exercises to practice with, or maybe a prayer or line of contemplation for them to follow in the time between our meetings. A lot different, more relaxed than this idea of me coming in and being like, here's what you need to do. Not the case. It's a more fluid and dialogue discussing what are your needs. Here are some ideas. How does that feel for you? Go check that out and come back and tell me about it. So that's as much direction as you're going to get from me in a spiritual direction session. I will offer some teaching. I will, like I said, offer resources to help you broaden and expand your knowledge so that you can grow in your spiritual practice. But nothing that's expecting you to stick to any sort of plan that I've set forward for you at all. Let's go ahead and take a moment to look at this term direction in a different sense. And in a spiritual direction session, what we do actually is we work together to discern what direction you are going. What direction your life is going, what direction you are going, what direction your spiritual path is going. Not only where are you going, where are you motivated to go, but also where is life taking you? It's a kind of fun way to look at this idea of direction, helping you orient yourself and see how things are unfolding. There's also this idea of direction as purpose. Do you feel a sense of direction, sense of purpose? What is your purpose? What direction are you meant to go in this lifetime? How are you here to serve? What are you here to do? So those are the kind of questions that we delve deep into during a spiritual direction session. And as a spiritual director, that's part of my job, is to help you determine what direction you are feeling called to go. There is also this idea of which direction are you looking? Where are you looking for? Are you looking for solutions? Are you looking for guidance? Are you looking inside of yourself, or is your attention directed outward? And then the last way of working with this term direction in a different way, from a different perspective, is looking at it as direction from the divine. It's one of the big ones that we explore in the spiritual direction work. What guidance is coming to you, and from where? From what direction? And what direction is that guidance pointing you? So we spend a lot of time talking about how guidance comes, in what form, where it comes from, and then what to do with it, what it might mean. So you see, it's really a way of orienting. This idea of spiritual direction is orienting ourselves within the transcendent, the mystical, the invisible world that is surrounding us, that we can't taste, touch, feel, hear, smell, see. This world that instead we have to come into on a different level. And so we talk about mystical experiences. We talk about the mysteries of things that don't necessarily make sense, and we try to orient ourselves within that. We try to get a sense of direction within that. So that's really the perspective that I'm coming from when I embrace this term, this title of spiritual director, and this idea of working with people doing spiritual direction work together. I see it as us working together as a team, one person not being above or below the other, that we're on equal footing, we each have something to bring to the conversation, and that I'm just helping direct your attention back to your soul. Because we can get into the ego or the mind or the problems or of sufferings of our lives. And spiritual direction is great for helping direct us back into soulful living, our spiritual lives. Whatever sacred, holy source, divine source we go to for courage, for grace, for energy when we need it. So as the spiritual director, I'm helping you redirect or direct your attention to the spiritual life. So doing this work, like I said, it overlaps with the shamanic healing work I do and the archetypal consulting work I do, and you can find out about those in the different videos on this channel. But I also do this work as standalone work, and it's really deep, beautiful work. I work with people either on a weekly, bi-weekly, or a monthly basis, meeting anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, depending on what's comfortable and what works best for you. You can find out more about these spiritual direction sessions and actually schedule an appointment on my website at wildgratitude.com. If you've liked this video, please absolutely be sure to give it a thumbs up. I also would love to hear your comments and questions in the section below. Also, I'm going to be doing this as an ongoing series, so there will be more videos about spiritual direction to help you understand what happens in a spiritual direction session and why this might be some really powerful work for you. I really look forward to meeting with you again soon and hearing what you have to say about this. And the beautiful spring weather that is finally emerging here in the Rocky Mountains. So I'll be with you in video form much more frequently now that the sunshine and the warm weather are back. All right. Have a wonderful day, and we'll speak with you soon. Bye-bye.